Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My hair is a little much right now. Today we're doing a video that I have not done on my channel in probably 2 or more years. It honestly has been more than that, I think. And we used to do these all the time, but what we're doing, as you can already obviously tell by the title, we're gonna do like a foundation review, except this is more of a tinted moisturizer kind of vibe, but we're doing a review, a first impression on the Wet n Wild Bare Focus Tinted Hydrator Tinted Skin Veil. This is what it looks like. I think the packaging is actually really pretty, and I feel like Wet n Wild hasn't released a new foundation in a really long time. I really like the one they have with the little paddle in it. I feel like I use that all the time. I might even have it right out here. I can't think of the name of that off the top of my head. This has hyaluronic acid in it and squalane, which I think is pretty cool. So it's kind of like a skincare and foundation combo kind of thing, which I think is really different. It's oil-free and it has sheer to medium coverage, it says. So I mean, obviously I feel like typically we would expect a tinted moisturizer not to have a ton of coverage. I don't really know what to expect of this, but I'm so excited to try it. I ordered it online from Target. So in terms of shade, I wasn't really sure. I feel like Wet n Wild tends to run a little bit on the dark side. Same with e.l.f. I really want to try the e.l.f. CC cream. That's apparently like a dupe for the A Cosmetics CC cream. I really want to try that one as well. I don't know if this is going to be anything like that. That just kind of popped into my head as another kind of like similar product that's newish. They're new to me. I don't know like how new they are. I know they're fairly new. So I got the shade Light. I think there was like a Porcelain and a Fair. So I think this might have been the third shade. And then I think the shade after this was like Light Medium. This says, this oil-free perfector delivers hydrating benefits in a buildable sheer to medium tint for a flawless, softly luminous complexion. Hyaluronic acid and plant-derived squalane help promote healthy-looking, supple, moisturized skin. And this is so affordable. This was $4.99 on Target, which I feel like is crazy. However, it's not a full fluid ounce, which I feel like is kind of standard. This is 0.91 fluid ounces, so it's like 0.08 shy, but obviously for the price, you cannot beat it. So we're gonna do kind of like the standard testing out foundation routine. I'm gonna use a sponge on one side and then a foundation brush on the other side. This is actually the ColourPop sponge. This is the softest sponge, I swear, like of all time. So I'm super excited to try this out. We're gonna have to see how the coverage is. I literally haven't even opened it. Like it's literally still got the little foil cover. So I don't know how this is gonna go, but I'm really excited to be doing another one of these videos with y'all. I feel like it's been so long, so let's get started. And also I have a cold sore on my lip, so don't mind that. I know it's not cute and it hurts, but that's what's happening. And also my husband's brushing his teeth in the background, so don't mind that either. All right, so I think I'm gonna do a brush on this side, primarily because this is the side that I have a ton of like blemishes and discoloration. This side less so. I feel like I'm gonna try to get more coverage on this side, which is why I'm gonna use the brush, and then assuming this will shear it out and kind of make it give a little less coverage, we'll do that over here. So I'm just gonna squeeze a little. Ooh. Okay, I don't know if that was too much or too little. That's just kind of the amount that like came out. I guess it's pretty thick. Yeah, I guess it is pretty thick. I mean, it's not like dripping or running at all. Yeah, so it's definitely like a thicker formula. All right, let's try this and see how it works. And this is just the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush. I love this for foundation. So I'm kind of more like dabbing this in rather than pushing it around, just to try to get as much coverage as possible. Okay, I thought that was a lot of product, but I feel like that didn't go very far. Like I really only got this much of my face covered. I don't feel like a little bit goes a long way. I feel like that was a lot of product. I thought I would at least be able to do like half my face. No, I feel like maybe you kind of need to use a lot of product. This brush doesn't really like absorb a lot of product, and this brush is clean as well. So yeah, okay, so I definitely need a little bit more. It's a tiny bit dark for me right now, but obviously the warmer months and the sunny months are coming up. So I think I'll probably be closer to this shade, honestly, not that far in the future. So that's why I don't like to go too light, because if it like perfectly matched me right now, I probably could only wear it, I don't know, the next like month. So this is fully covered with the brush. I feel like this is super dewy. Do y'all see? I mean, not super dewy, but like pretty luminous. I think you can see kind of like all the light bouncing off of it. And I think it gave a pretty much medium coverage. I think that would be spot on. You can still definitely see some redness and discoloration coming through, but like overall, I feel like it's looking very even, very smooth. It's not really looking like dry or textured or anything. It looks really smooth. I feel like it's a really nice formula, a very blendable kind of like settle into your skin formula. It doesn't like look like it's sitting on top or gathering. We're gonna have to see how creasing works out, because that's definitely something that I have a problem with, like around my smile lines and stuff like that. I'll get a lot of creasing. The coverage is definitely medium coverage. I would say that's definitely true. Like I would probably conceal a little bit more over here, obviously under my eyes, of course. I didn't put much there. And the color color is really not bad. I think you can even tell, like, looking at me straight on, like this side's a little bit darker, but overall it's not a bad match. Let's see how it works with the sponge. If this is medium coverage with the brush, I'm just a little bit afraid it's gonna be like pretty sheer with the sponge, but that's not always the case. So let's see. Have a real nice sit right there. And I put pretty much the same amount as I did the first time. I didn't like do as much as both sides. I did like kind of a similar initial amount. Put a tiny more on the forehead. So this is what it looks like with the sponge. I feel like it's equally dewy. I feel like sometimes we expect the sponge to give us a little bit more luminosity, but I think they're pretty much equal in that department. Definitely a little bit less coverage, I feel like. I mean, I didn't have as much to cover on this side as y'all saw, but this is pretty much still completely exposed. This little red mark, you can pretty much see it just as much as you could before, but it definitely evened everything out. I think even looking at me, you can kind of tell the coverage is a little different, and even like the texture, it looks just a little bit heavier. Like, even though this side isn't full coverage, you can still definitely see like makeup. I feel like it still kind of looks definitely like there's product. I'm sorry, this is like so close. But you can definitely tell that there is a foundation. This side I think looks a lot more natural. I don't feel like you can quite see the product as much. It kind of melted into the skin a little more, obviously I think because it got a little bit, you know, diluted, and it kind of just blends a little easier with the sponge. But overall I think I like the brush side a little bit better just because it has more coverage. However, if I have like really nice skin, really clear skin, or in the summer when I don't really like to do a lot on my skin, I feel like the sponge would be totally fine because this looks really natural. Like, you could do this with just a little bit of mascara and people would probably not even know that you're wearing makeup. So I think this would work really well for both ways if you want to build it up a little bit, which I think I'm going to try doing. I'm going to put a tiny bit more on the brush and just see if I can cover up this acne a little bit. Just going to put like a tiny like little pea-sized amount. Let's see if we, because it did say it was buildable, right? So, because that's what I'm thinking. If you can get both out of this, like if you can get pretty good coverage but also like a super natural coverage out of the same product, that would be amazing. Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, yeah, so it's definitely buildable. I mean, I don't even feel like I need to conceal over there now. Okay, so that's really good. I'm just using whatever is left kind of around my mouth area. I have a lot of discoloration here. Okay, so I'm kind of surprised. That honestly worked really well. I feel like my face on this side looks honestly perfect. This is the perfect amount of coverage for me. This is pretty close to full coverage. I mean, it looks really good. I'm just gonna try just for fun, taking a tiny bit on my finger and just using it almost like concealer, just like a tiny little bit. Let's see if I can just kind of cover that spot up a little. Yeah, okay, so this is maybe amazing. I'm honestly like extremely in shock right now. I really didn't have like the highest hopes for this. I was really excited about it just because it's so affordable and it's got the skincare component, but I didn't have the highest hopes just because sometimes Wet n Wild can be a little hit or miss, at least for me in experience. This is kind of amazing. I think I actually love this. The fact that you can get almost full coverage with two pretty thin layers. I didn't use a ton of product and I don't feel like it looks super heavy. I mean, it looks like I'm wearing makeup for sure. Like someone that looked at my skin would say, yeah, you're wearing foundation 100%, but it looks really smooth. I love how dewy it is. It looks still like very natural. It just is like sunken into my skin really nicely. It's not like collecting in any weird ways. And I feel like this is kind of crazy that this is a singular product that can do both. It can be almost full coverage and it can look almost as natural as if you're wearing nothing. I don't think I've ever had a product like that ever. This is definitely gonna be a really good summer foundation, I can tell, because it's nice and dewy, which I think is so pretty for the spring and summer, but it'd be perfect especially for like travel or just everyday use. If you want something fuller coverage, you can use this product, and if you just want to throw something on really quickly to run out the door, you can use the same product and just apply them differently. So this is actually so exciting. I'm definitely gonna need to pick up some darker shades for the summertime because I feel like I'm gonna use the crap out of this. This is exciting. I'm like super excited. I did not expect this to go this well. All right, let me just go put a little bit of concealer under my eyes and powder my face. I am gonna powder. I always powder, and just kind of finish up, and then I'll check back with you guys once I have all of that done, just so we can see how it looks after it's like settled in a little bit, have some products on top of it, and like see how it does. does with all of that. All right, we are back. I feel like I look so funny because my full face, like my brows, everything is done, and I look like Kermit the Frog without anything on my eyes, but that just takes me forever, and I wanted to jump back on and show y'all how it's looking. I just used my Airspun powder to set it just because I use this like every single day, and it's sheer, it's translucent, so it's not gonna add any color or any coverage, and I use it so often that I know how it works. But I am so obsessed with how this looks. I feel like now that I've kind of done the rest of my face, it looks a little bit more even. I mean, this side definitely still has a good amount of coverage. I'm super happy with it, but obviously now that I've put, you know, some additional products over here, this side's looking good too. Like, I feel like this two sides don't look crazy different. Like, if I were to go out in public, I don't feel like I look super wild. However, of course, the powder did mattify it a lot. As y'all saw, it was quite dewy at first, which I love that look, but I cannot not set my face. To me, it's like not wearing a bra or like not wearing underwear out. The dewiness that you are seeing is just my highlighter, which I use the Natasha Denona just like blush and highlighter duo. So that's the blush and highlighter, that's the glow you see. If you are the type of person that doesn't have to set your face, this looks so pretty without powder on. It just looks like it's settled into my skin nicely. It's not looking like really thick or heavy. It's definitely not clinging to any of my texture or anything. And honestly, everywhere, I'm not really getting any smile lines yet. I mean, it's only been probably like 5 minutes, but some foundations crease up really quick. I'm honestly crazy impressed. I think you guys can tell, like, I was really not expecting this to be possibly like my new favorite tinted moisturizer. It honestly looks as good as like any other foundation. I feel like this looks amazing. I'm not usually a huge fan of tinted moisturizers in general because I'm not crazy about like light coverage. As y'all saw, I do have stuff to cover up like discoloration and blemishes, but this is amazing because it can do both. So I love that I can get like what I'm comfortable with, but then I can also do something really quick and easy and natural. I'm crazy impressed with this. I would like 1000% recommend this. And I think no matter what skin you have, I think this would still work for you because it is oil free, and granted, it did look a little bit shiny in the beginning. You didn't look like a grease ball, and I think if you do typically set your makeup, as you can see now, it's not overly dewy. So if some of your oil kind of peeks throughout the day, I think it will just look really natural and really glowy and pretty. And if you have dry skin, I definitely think it would work for you too, of course, because it has that like moisturizing feeling. It has hyaluronic acid, which is moisturizing, and it just feels really good on your skin, and it does provide some dewiness. So I think this could honestly work for a lot of people, and honestly, no matter what kind of coverage you prefer, you can get it. Of course, I will have this link down below for y'all to grab. I think you should get your hands on it. It is so affordable and so good. I don't know if people are raving about this. I need to probably go double check now, because if they're not, I think that they really should be. This is amazing. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to subscribe, we would love to have you. We have so much fun here, and until next time, I will see y'all in our next video. Bye guys.